Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Discover. This one is super special because we have our first guest of the season.
Hey guys.
I'm going to let her go ahead and introduce herself so we can get right into it.
Hey you guys, my name is Lauren Hughes and I wear many hats, right? But I'll go ahead and get into that once we get into the podcast. I am a digital media strategist. I am a tennis coach. I have my own photography business. I'm an account manager for a social media agency. The agency is Blueprint.
Yes. So I guess let's cheers to the episode together.
Discover her being back.
Period.
Yes. Cheers.
So let's get into how we met each other first, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to let you
this
start
was a minute
off.
ago.
It was, 2020?
I was looking for a mentor and I came across Lauren's page. I'm like, she went to Wayne State. She loves to do a lot of different things. And at that point in time, especially in college, I felt like I was just very like multi-passionate or like multi-hyphenated, just wanted to do so many different things. Like I didn't want to put myself in just one box of doing just one thing. And I was just like, but I like everything. So then when I came across your page, I'm like, oh, let me reach out to her because she is doing a lot of different things or has a lot of different interests. And then I reached out. I feel like we had a conversation and we ended up doing a call and then, or meeting up, and then the rest was just like continuing on.
Yeah. So basically that's literally how we met. And when Deja reached out to me, I was nervous because no one had reached out to me, before for me to mentor them. And I'm gonna be honest, around the time she reached out to me, my YouTube channel was growing like crazy. Back in 2019 and 2020, I was a marketing manager for a toy company and I was their first employee. And so I posted a video about a day in the life of a marketing manager, and that video now has over 200,000 views. And that's how I grew my channel, from that video.
Wow. And I remember you working there.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. So that's how my channel grew. And I had a lot of people reaching out to me, asking me marketing questions like, how do I get into this career? How much do you get paid? Like this, that, and third. And I'm like, hold on. I can help you with some stuff, but like as far as what you get paid, I have no control over that. So around the time I had a lot of people in my DMs, just interested in the career. And so I would reach out and like send them resources and things of that nature, but no one had asked me to actually mentor them. So when you reached out to me, I was like, am I equipped for this? Like I want to, because she goes to Wayne State. I graduated from there and I don't know, I was nervous, but I was like, I felt like God had like called me to do it almost, It's like, Lauren, get out of that nervousness and like, this is what I'm asking you to do. So be obedient and do it type of thing. So that's kind of how our relationship started. And so I tried my best to be as consistent. We would always go back and forth and say like, oh my God, we need to talk more.
Right. Or we need to meet up.
Yes. Cause we didn't meet up for a long time. It was a minute until we met up.
It was like we met up for, I feel like it was a couple times, but they were all spread out.
Very spread out. It would be like 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes even longer.
Like calls. Yeah.
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 We would call. We would talk on the phone. I feel like we did that.
That would be more often than us meeting up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But me and Deja, we literally just clicked when we met up.
Yeah.
And she's one of my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, and then it went from like, oh, this is my friend, girl.
Like, I like you. Like, you want to just hang out?
The last time that we had that, that we met up, I think it was at Condado's.
Yes.
I feel like that last time was just like, I don't know. I just really felt like, oh, this is my friend. Like, we have a relationship. But I feel like that time we were more like talking about our personal lives more.
Yeah.
And you always tell me that though. Like, it doesn't just have to be about like career stuff. It can be about anything in life.
Anything.
And then I started to be more open. You were open too. But that was really helpful for the things I had going on in my life too at the time.
Yes.
So I think it's crazy to just see how it evolved from there.
Yes, because I feel like once you open that door of like talking about other things besides your career, you open the door for a more like personable relationship, for a friendship.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been needing an event, honey. So
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you know, we can talk about our career.
Yeah.
I love that. But, you know, sometimes
You want to talk about other stuff
yes,
that's going on in life.
Yes, you have to.
And at that time, we were going through like similar things.
We were.
And that was just so, I don't know.
It was just on point.
It
was
just
perfect.
like, oh, girl, what is actually happening? What's going on?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was pretty much how we met each other, how our relationship kind of developed. And then it was kind of really friendship, really just from that point forward. Still asking about like career questions and like personal stuff and things from there, but just like that more personable relationship. So.
And I really feel like, I'm sure we'll get into this, but I really feel like me and Deja got extremely closer once we both started working for our friend's social media agency, which is signed by Blueprint.
Yeah.
Because I was seeing you more often, and I don't know, I just feel like we got closer because we worked together on certain things, and
it was fun.
Yeah. I would see you every 2 weeks in the meetings, and so.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to bring up because, so for the people that follow me on my regular page, like before this last hiatus that I went on, I would post like Blueprint's content often. And I actually got introduced to Jessica from Lauren.
Right.
From you. So it's like, okay. And it was very aligned. But I'm so glad you did that because I don't know. Jessica, like that's a friend too now. And also just Blueprint is such a family community.
It's such a family oriented business.
Yeah.
It really is. And because I think she was looking for an account manager, and I told her about you.
She was looking for, so originally I started as a social media assistant.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
to help her with some stuff.
That. Okay.
And then I transitioned to project management like 3 months after that.
Okay.
And then I did that to the end of the year until I made that like career switch at the time. But yeah, it was fun. I was like, I like this. Yes. And I always said this, and I told her this before, like, you know, now we talk about Blueprint.
Right.
But like, that was like the most I felt like, okay, like, you know, I'm like in control of my life, leading my life, and then I have this job on the side versus like this, everything else is surrounded around a job. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's definitely like having that job, it gives you that space to do that. And I think she's a great leader, and I feel like that's how we're able to love what we do so much. Yeah. Because she's a good leader, she's a good boss, and that makes all the difference. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I think that's why we love it the way we do, because of how she is. Yeah.
So our connection has went a lot of places, because now I'm back working at Blueprint. Yes. And it all started from when she introduced me to Jessica in 2022. So then, since then, our friendship just kind of continuously developed over time. And then I feel like once I got pregnant, and then from there, it just got more like deepened. And really a lot of my friendships did, but like ours specifically did, because I'm like, oh, you're just so sweet.
Yes. I wanted to make sure you were good. Yeah. Because, you know, I've had a lot of friends that have gone through pregnancy, and they have like voiced and just shared, you know, how sometimes it is a period of isolation. And I didn't want you to feel like that. Yeah. And so I always try my best to just like be there for my friends during that period, and afterwards too, right? Yeah. But really during that time, like constant check-ins, because, you know, just from hearing what they say, I'm like, no, like I don't want anyone to feel like that. Yeah. So if I can do anything to try to like help or like make you feel loved like in that process, then I'm going to do it. Yeah. You know? So, and I feel like, we definitely did get closer. Like, okay.
Yeah. So I invited her and Jessica over to meet the baby and to like see me and Anthony at that point in time to see how we were doing and stuff. So that was really nice. And since then, our friendship just continuously to like developing. And now we're both, you know, now that I'm back at Blueprint, seeing each other more along the lines of those things. Yeah. Yeah.
And we just get along. I don't know. It's great. We have good conversation. We can talk about everything. We give good advice to each other, you know, when it's needed and when we ask. And we give each other like the space to vent. And it's no judgment. It's just like, look, this is what I'm dealing with. This the real. you know, what would you do in this situation? Or I don't know. That's
honesty.
helpful. Yeah. Just
like,
real.
I don't know. I be feeling like sisterly advice and support. Like, that's how it feels.
Yes. That's exactly what we give each other.
Yeah.
And that's what friendships are about.
Period. So, I guess walk me through what you're doing now.
Okay.
And how you got into it career-wise. Okay. And also your passions and things. Because I know, you mentioned you're a tennis coach.
Yes.
Which I know that. I'm trying to get some lessons in with her.
Yep. Coming soon, y'all. So, okay. I have my own photography business, you guys, if you didn't know. And it's called LT Multimedia Co. So, at the time when I first started my business, it was supposed to be all things multimedia, including social media. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to, have my own clients. And honestly, I never really got to that point. It kind of just stayed in the photography area, which I'm glad because I am truly passionate about photography. I started LT Multimedia Co. late 2019, and my business has just truly taken off. I've had a lot of moments where I'm like, should I be doing this? It's not really working out.
For photography?
Yeah. I've really had moments like that.
Okay.
And last year, I did my business full time. Because I had left, I don't know if you knew that one job I was at, but I did it full time. And it came with really high highs because it would be a month where I would have 5-6 clients. And that adds up. But then it would be months where maybe I got 1 or maybe I got 0. And I was promoting my business so hard. I was going hard. And within those months, I'm like, I got to look for a 9-to-5.
Right.
Because this ain't going to work, you know? But I wasn't willing to give up because it's something that I'm passionate about. And like we just talked about earlier, I feel like I was called to do it. I'm called to make people feel a certain way because I feel like I have the ability to do that. Yeah. So when I get behind the camera, I have the ability to make people feel beautiful and make them feel safe and make them feel like they the hottest person walking the planet. And you should. Yeah. You should feel like that. And I think that's why I love what I do so much. Yeah. Just making people feel good. So I have my photography business and that's going good. Yeah. But I'm also juggling that with a 9-to-5 now. I'm a digital media strategist for the city of Detroit, and I work in the Office of Contracting and Procurement. Very long, lengthy title. But I started working in there back in November, and I love it. I love my coworkers. I feel safe there. I feel heard. They give me the ability to create. It's no micromanaging. It's just I can do what I do best, which is create and take photos and social media management. It's all the things I love to do in one job, and I get to do it every day. So love that job. I am also an account manager for Sign by Blueprint. So that is my third job.
And we're going to get into how you juggle it all.
Yes. we have to get into that. So love Sign by Blueprint. My best friend Jessica, she is actually the owner of Blueprint. And when did I start working? I started working at Blueprint back in December. What is this, 2024?
I feel like it was the end of 2022.
It was the end of 2022. Yeah. It was December 2022. That's when I started working with Blueprint. And I've worked with a couple accounts since then. Love that agency. Love my friend. And just, how she handles her business when it comes to her business. I mean, it's very admirable and super inspiring. And so that is my third job. Love Sign by Blueprint. And my fourth one would be very on and off is me being a tennis coach. So I played on the Wayne State women's tennis team from 2013 to 2017. Okay. And I went to school on a full ride, which was a blessing. I don't take it for granted. Praise Jesus. But after college, I also felt like I was called to teach, young Black girls how to play the sport. Because I don't think that our community knows how accessible it is to play. Tennis is very expensive. I will say that, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? You can work with me. I'm not going to charge you an arm and leg, but I want people that look like us to know that like you can be the next Serena and Venus too.
Yes.
If you want.
Yeah.
Like it's not as far as you think it is.
Yeah.
And so that's why I feel like I'm called to, you know, just coach people that look like me.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't matter the age. I just feel like I am and I love it. So I'm on and off with that. I want to be a little bit more consistent. However, I got a lot going on and I still have to make time for friends, family. I have a 1-year-old dog. I have a boyfriend. Got to make time for my people too. So just learning and figuring out how to balance it all has been a challenge, but I'm trying to get the hang of it. Yeah.
And what did you get your degree in?
Public relations.
Public relations.
Yeah. So it's in the communication field, which is what I'm in now. However, I don't do anything in regards to public relations now. Yeah.
What was your business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That whole aspect of things.
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you juggling?
How am I juggling? I'm going to be honest. I'm still figuring it out, and I don't have too much time for myself. And that has been a little struggle. Yeah. And I talk to my friends about it a lot, how I'm trying to find time for myself, but I still want to be able to show up for them and everyone else. Yeah. And still do all these jobs that I do really, really well. Right. Because I don't believe in 50% in any area of my life. Yeah. It's either 100 or I can't do it. Yeah. I just can't do it and I need to drop it completely. Yeah. And sometimes that's how I feel. I know it doesn't have to be that way and I get in my head about it. But just time management and really just setting time aside to do specific tasks and only work on those tasks. Don't look at my phone. Don't try to do. So if I'm doing photography and I'm editing photos, I'm not doing any other outside work because I'm setting time aside to do this. And this is important too. Yeah. When I'm doing sign by blueprint work, I'm not working on anything else. I'm spending an hour on creating a plan or posting on stories, whatever the case is. Yeah. This is my set aside time to do that and only that. Yeah. And so I've been trying to do that and it does work, but I do get distracted sometimes. Yeah.
I feel like that's something I've been trying to implement because going back from thing to thing to thing caused me to be very overwhelmed, especially now with my capacity being different. It's okay, I just need to work on this and then I'll move to the next thing and move to the next thing. So I'm glad that you said that. That's something I struggle with too. Yeah. I think they feel like they call things like that time blocking.
Yes.
So
I think that's it.
Yeah. But that's good.
Yeah. So
it's just making them more time for yourself, which I feel like we both need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. We do.
New changes in transitions
so
and things
many
like
changes.
That. So
we have to find time for ourselves because I feel like the only way we can truly do all the things that we do and give it 100% is if we fill up our cup first. Yeah. And if we don't, me personally, I'm just gonna lack in so many other areas.
So what are some things that you feel like work best for you?
That's a good question. I love coffee shops. I'm gonna be
another
honest.
thing we like.
Yes, we love coffee shops. Because I remember right before Deja gave birth, we went to Royal Oak Dessert Oasis in Royal Oak, and we literally sat there and just had a vending session.
And we were supposed to be planning my maternity shoot, going over the concept for it, and we just got to talk.
Yes. And then it just spilled over into a whole nother conversation, but it was needed. So yes, coffee shops. And I took off last week on Tuesday to go to a coffee shop. I literally woke up at 7, and you would think oh, Lauren, if you took the day off, why didn't you just stay in bed a little longer? Because I had other things to get done. Right. I had other things to do, so I felt like I couldn't afford to do that. Yeah. So yeah, I took off of work and went to a coffee shop for about 2 hours and got a lot done. Yeah. And I feel like that was me time. I know I was working, so technically it's not, but
yeah, but I feel like you did other things that you needed to do.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, working Monday through Friday, something I also realized, it's less time to do all of the other things that you need
so
to do.
Much,
especially if it's more demanding.
Yeah.
So,
and my job is demanding, so I was like, I haven't taken a day off here yet, so let me do that.
Did you do other stuff outside of like the 2 hours?
I did actually. I just went back home and I chilled because I needed a mental break and I needed to regroup.
Yeah.
Because that week was so busy with like all the things I had to do, and I knew that I was either going to be cranky or just like not showing up in areas that I needed to show up in.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to do this for myself if I'm going to be like the best version of me for other people.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes like there's just some things, I don't know, for me, like some things I just have to get like crossed off the list, or just because I feel like if I don't and I'll be like, oh, I'll just lay down or something, it's going to hang over me and then just feel like a weight on my shoulders. And it's like, let me just at least get, these couple of things out the way and then take a second.
Yep. Then I'll be good. Then I can get back up. I'm more refreshed and I can take care of business.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's something else I enjoy? The gym is cool. I enjoy the gym. Because I feel like when you're at the gym, you're not scrolling on your phone. You're barely looking at it. I mean, the only thing you're doing is trying to figure out what song you want to hear next,
Right, yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, it gives me like the space and time to just like work on myself, to breathe, and to like maybe think about things I'm going through, or maybe not.
Right.
It's just cool because I'm not like as attached to my phone as I feel like I have to be through the entire day. So I try to carve out time for that. As of lately, I haven't been doing well, but I want to get back to doing that.
Okay.
What about you?
I love the gym. I'm just getting back into the gym. After having a baby, it's definitely changed. So since then, I've started doing more classes. Like before I had a trainer. I did a lot of weightlifting, strength training, and things like that, and like going to the gym on my own. So that was like my main source. So now I do some workout classes. Sometimes I go to Hot Bones, which is where your friend Alexis teaches. I did one class with her. It was good.
Okay.
So I like doing the hot Pilates classes there.
Okay. Ooh, I didn't know they had hot Pilates.
Girl. Yes.
Wait, I may take one with you. Let me know.
You should. Because I need to go back. But yes.
Yeah, let me know. I would love to. Yeah. Because hot Pilates, I feel like you're really going to get a good sweat in.
Yeah, so my doula, she works for a holistic doctor, and she was asking him, like, what is the best way to detox, or number one, thing to do to detox? And he told her, like, to get in a sauna for, extended period of time, and that sweat and stuff helps you detox. So I was like, oh, that makes sense why doing like hot Pilates makes me like, okay, working out, that makes me feel good, but like doing it hot just makes me feel good. And it's a mental thing too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I did not know hot Pilates was a thing.
So,
but I want to try it next time.
We can do her class.
Does she teach a hot Pilates class? That's the one you did.
I did an intro one with her to like without the heat, even though I was so backwards. I had already did hip Pilates in the heat, but I just had wanted to do one with her because you know she has a child and asks her my questions and things like that. So I was
she gives really good advice too.
She did too, and we talked after. So I'm like, let me at least go to this class.
Yep.
So yeah, she teaches there on I think Sundays and another day.
Okay.
So we can do one of those. And also I like to. So I do therapy every week. Before it was every 2 weeks.
I love that.
Yeah. Then the closer I got to having a baby and then, you know, postpartum, I was like, you know, I got to bump this up to once a week to be proactive because there's so many changes.
Yeah.
So I would say that's another thing that helps me feel good.
That's good.
It's an investment.
Yeah. But it's good. One that's just going to make like your mind feel good. And I don't know. It's nothing like having a sharp mind and like a mind at peace.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're doing yourself the biggest favor. Yeah. You know, so
she's good.
I need to look into that just to have someone to vent to.
You should.
I have been to therapy though, like in my life a couple times. And so during like big monumental seasons in my life that were hard. Yeah. And so it really helped me. Yeah. It helped me not necessarily get through those situations quicker or faster. Yeah. But while I was grieving, it kind of just, it helped me process things better. Yeah. I didn't overthink as much. And I was like, okay, it's going to be okay. Yeah. You know, you talk to your therapist. She said you're going to be good.
So, I guess I'm be good.
Right. So you cool. And, you're going to talk to her next week.
Yeah.
So if you got any more questions. But no, I think therapy is like chef's kiss, honestly.
And like the tools that they give you.
Yes.
So, yeah. But this is the, I want to say 4th or 5th therapist I've had, because you really have to shop for them. But this one is like the best for me personally because, she's a therapist, but she's also a Christian, heavy believer. So like, I'm going in there about stuff going on in life, but it's also like, all right, let me talk to you. Like, I'm feeling this way spiritually, like all of those different types of things. So
Yes.
I would say that and journaling. And, like I already said, I love coffee shops.
Yes. Journaling is a good one.
Yeah. It's like,
that's a good one.
I've
never done.
Build my habit on that. It took time. Like, I've known that I needed to journal probably since before we met, but like I just started getting into it like within the last year.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I do it, but it'll be like spaced out.
Okay.
Now it's like almost every day.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. And like, what do you think journaling helps with, like for you?
When I need to talk or bring my emotions down. So like for me, if I get really up there emotionally, like angry, upset, sad, frustrated, whatever the case may be, I need to release it. So if I can't go to the gym, I got to journal because I need to release it, or I'm going to say it and it's going to be released that way, which is not the best thing.
That's good.
When you're working on, how you speaking to people and things like that.
Yeah.
So
that's really
that's
good.
what it helps me with. And then another thing people say it helps with, I'm trying to get into this part more instead of just journaling like when I'm upset or something. It's like just journaling things that's happening on a day to day. So like you can look back on, see like where you were at that point in time, or like what things you were thinking about, like just identifying your own thought processes, but also looking back on memories that you're making. So I'm getting into that
good.
part. Yeah.
That's good. Because I feel like you said, it's easy to go straight to your journal when you heat it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, you know what? You got me so messed up.
Nah, let me write it in this journal because I'm going to say it to you if I don't.
Yeah, but then I got to be like, oh, hey, today a good day.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm trying to get with.
This is what I'm thankful for. I was pissed off yesterday, but I'm happy
like,
today.
I'm good today. Because if you just write about
good.
the bad moments, you're literally going to look back like, okay, life don't seem good. But then
Right?
it's like, no, you're not writing about, and it's the same thing with our thinking. You're not also thinking about the good things that are happening. You're just thinking about the bad things.
That's good.
So I think it helps train the mind that way. I'm not a perfectionist with this. I'm working on this.
No,
so.
but shoot, you're in a great position because you're doing it already. So now all you have to do is implement, doing it when things are good or, So you're already doing it. So that's better than most.
Girl, we're trying.
We are trying.
Yeah.
And one thing, while we're on the topic of just like, when you're having a bad day journaling or whatever, I think some people get into the mindset of like, my life is so bad, like this, that, and the third. And I don't think that's the case. No matter what you're going through. I think you may just be in a season of life. Your life isn't bad.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just having a bad day.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're having a bad week or a bad couple of weeks or a bad month.
Yeah.
But your life isn't bad.
So, YouTube.
Yes.
So, where are you now with YouTube then?
That's a good
Since
question.
you feel like it changed during the seasons.
Yeah. So, because I'm a digital marketing strategist, I feel like I'm trying to get back into the whole marketing piece because I know my audience that I have on there now, those are the videos they want to see. But I haven't been in that space for a while. So the last couple of videos that I've posted have more to do with just like my business and just like hanging out day to day. And they've done pretty well, but not as good as I have hoped them to do. But I really just got to continue to stay consistent.
Yeah.
That's all. So I think, if you go to my YouTube channel, that is what you can expect to see, videos around digital marketing strategy as well as entrepreneurship videos.
Yeah.
That's the goal for this year.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is your best piece of advice for other multi-hyphenated, multi-passionate people or entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Specifically women.
My best piece of advice is do not let anyone put you in a box. Do not let anyone make you feel like you can't do all the things. if you are passionate about a lot of things and you are good at those things, do them. Whether you decide to make money off of them or whether you do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Do all the things, right? You don't just have to be an engineer. You don't just have to be in tech.
Yeah.
You know, you can do all the things, right? And say if you don't know if you're creative or not, or you don't know what you're really good at, explore those things, right? But do all the things. And if you happen to be good at every single thing, then that's something you can make money off of, you know? It doesn't have to be, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, you don't always have to make money off of the things that you are good at or just like hobbies, because I don't really believe in that. But if you are, and people are inquiring about the services that you are able to provide, then, you know, why not?
Right. Especially if there's value.
Yes, if there's value. And you have like proven yourself to be able to do the work.
Yeah.
Whether that's like me being a tennis coach. I've played my entire life.
Yeah.
So me being able to provide that service for people when it comes to coaching, that's like inevitable. I know that sport like the back of my hand. And although I haven't played in a while, I know how to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just explore all the things. Don't let anyone tell you that you should be working a 9 to 5 because that is what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. If you're passionate about it and that's what you want to do, then by any means do it. But do not let anyone make you feel small because you're not working a 9 to 5. You know, just keep going and keep pushing, and you're going to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know.
And what was this, last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. And we were talking about like YouTube, doing more things, showing up more on our own pages and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's been a struggle a little bit for the both of us. For different reasons.
It has. And I've been trying to do it a little bit more. But I post and then I get into my head and I'm like, ooh, I'm showing too much.
Yeah.
People know too much of my life. And it's like, girl, you just posted a picture of yourself holding some flowers. What do they know?
Lord.
You know, like, you didn't really show them anything.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I got to get out of my head.
Yeah.
Get out of your head. That's another piece of advice that I'm telling you guys and myself.
Yeah.
Get out of your head and just do it, because the things we think people are thinking about, they're not thinking about at all. Like, when you post a photo or you post something on your story, more often than not, people are barely even looking at what you post.
Yeah.
And if they're not your friends for real, they're barely looking at what you post.
Yeah.
I know I really only look at my friends' content. Granted, I may scroll past a couple other people's content or stories, but I'm not engaging in it. I'm literally like just going past, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's important to just like, when you post content, just know that like, people, for one, are only looking at it for a split second, and they're not going back to look at what you posted. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So gotta just push through.
Just put it out there.
Put it out there.
And I feel like, specifically, like, just for me, like, going through the seasons and things like that, or even for you, like, wanting to reach more people to teach other, you know, girls and women tennis, for example, and reach more people, you know, you got to put yourself out there to be able to do it. And like, for me, having to put myself out there to do podcasting, because, you know, I'm sure everybody that's probably gonna be watching this know, like, I done took so many breaks from social media, but then, and I explained this to you, just feeling like that responsibility to be like, oh, I have to share, I have to help, I have to, you know, do all these other things. But then it's like, well, I feel like I'm just so like tucked away now. Yeah. And like, you know, identifying like, oh, the enemy wants me tucked away, because if I'm tucked away, I can't share the things I need to share, my experience, my testimonies, and all of that other stuff. Exactly. So that's also something I'm identifying. So it's like, oh, you just don't want me to say nothing. But I think I'm protecting myself, which, you know, I think I'm protecting myself, but I'm really doing more harm than good keeping myself put away somewhere. Yes,
you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah. Like, God didn't give us these talents so that we could just sit on them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And just think about them.
Yeah, no.
They're meant to be shared.
They're meant to be shared with others. They're meant to inspire people, you know? And so we really have to be willing to just put it out there and do it, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because I'm learning is that things don't stay uncomfortable forever.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't.
I mean, say if we start today being consistent with whatever it is, me, YouTube, you posting your podcast, no matter how long of a break you took, that doesn't matter. You're always able to start again.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to make up in your mind that, okay, when I start, I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, but you can always start again. And that's what I'm learning too. Is like, it doesn't matter how long I've been from YouTube or how long I didn't post. I have the ability to start again, but it's up to me to figure out if I'm going to do things differently the second time around.
Yeah.
You know,
and there are some people that's waiting for you to continue to share.
It's some people waiting. Like,
girl, I be on them YouTube when you post it. Oh, Lauren's back. Let me go in here. Let me like and comment. Let me see what she talk about. You know, so it's people that are waiting to, you know, maybe listen to the podcast, watch the YouTube video, come to a tennis class, learn about your experience, all the other things, trying to get their pictures taken.
Yes. So I had one lady reach out to me yesterday. She, in her DM, she asked about photography and like videography as well. And then the second bullet point was tennis. And it's just so crazy that like, that's why you should do all the things. Yeah. Because people are going to be like, wow, like she good at this and this. Like I need her for this and this.
Right.
You know, like I need you for photography and tennis, you know. She wanted her and her partner to get into tennis in March. And I told her I wasn't starting back classes up until April. Okay. But I said, stay on the lookout. I'll reach out to you personally so that you can get more information. And so I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, dang, people recognize the things that you do. Yeah. They recognize the things that you're passionate about because you talk about them. And that's why it's so important to share what you do with other people. Yeah.
So people can know, like, she does this, let me go. And that's how you find your people.
That's how you
got to share, because nobody's not going to know. And it's even for me, nobody's not even going to know, like, the things I'm interested in or the things that I'm good at or provide value in if I'm not sharing those things.
Exactly.
And they might be like, oh, like I had one of my profiles like, oh, I mean, I knew you did some things marketing, but I didn't know you did like these things. But that's why it's important to share what you do. Literally.
And you're not oversharing if you talk about what you do at work. Yeah. You're not oversharing if you talk about your business. Yeah. You know, like that's what you do. And, you know, you're inspiring other people to do the same. So it's so important to share. And we are preaching to the choir right now because we need to be doing the same. Girl,
we the one. Hopefully by the time this come out, we have made some progress. Yes. We're doing progress by progress by progress. Yes. Over perfection.
Because I'm going to be rewatching this video talking about, all right, Lo, what are you doing?
All right, you were saying all that, but are you actually doing it? And you know, that's how we going to be. So
literally.
But I'm glad that we even said that and even had that conversation too last weekend. So we can like hold each other accountable to be like, okay, you said you was going to do this, but, or even right now with you like, oh, you going to get some content behind the scenes? And I love when we do that.
You know, you should because we just talked about it. So that's how you hold your friends accountable. Yeah. And you know what? This is something that's so good to talk about. Sometimes you don't always want yes men around you. No. We think we want that, but we don't. I don't. No.
Because
you're going to agree with everything?
How are you going to grow? But, okay.
Sometimes people think that that's being a good friend. And it's actually the other way around, but they don't know it. Yeah. Because they think they're like, well, I'm agreeing with you. Right. I'm making you happy by agreeing with you, right? But it's like, no. You know, like we have to hold each other accountable and we have to push each other. Yeah. If I told you, well, like, girl, it's okay. You don't got to figure out that tripod. Like, don't get no content. You don't got to do nothing. Like, you know, like, that's not me being a good friend.
But it's like you trying to push me to be better. Yes. That's what it is. Trying to push me to be better at, you know, whatever it is in that moment. At that moment is getting some content, you know, behind the scenes to share. Yep. So, but that goes from a whole wide range of things. So, it does. And I feel like sometimes there's two ways to look at those things. Like, I'm probably going to talk about this on another episode too, but like the side of trying to like hold your friend accountable and the uncomfortability that comes with that. And the other side of like being held accountable and the uncomfortability that comes with that too. And then when you mix in all of the different types of lives people have, types of hurt people have, type of perspective people have, maturity levels, it's like,
that's tough.
You never know if it's going to connect.
You never know if it's going to connect or like pull y'all apart.
Yeah. And that's the part that's not, I mean, that's the sad part, especially, you know.
That's the sad part.
And those things can hurt, especially like depending on the type of relationship, but it's like a growth thing. And it's like what hurts more, like having certain things being pulled on you as you're trying to grow, or releasing those things with ease and growing
and
that
just
way.
Accepting, like, this is what it is.
Right.
No
the
bad
grieving
blood.
or the forcing.
Yeah. Or the feeling uncomfortable in situations with certain people. You know, it's like you do have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Getting comfortable with making those decisions, like, for yourself. And
yes. Like, it's literally, I'm doing this for myself.
Yeah.
Because I have to, and I don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
Because I can't be uncomfortable for the rest of my life. Or just whatever.
Yeah.
Be in situations where I don't feel like, where I have to guess.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It's just like we talked about, doing yourself a disservice when you allow yourself to be in those situations for too long.
And I feel like there's going to be a time period where I feel like I'm older. I'm sure I'm going to struggle with this, but like maybe 10 years from now, and it's like, you know what? You're better at making decisions now than before. Because even now, I feel like some discomfort with trying to make the best decisions, because it's like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Like, am I making... I feel like I can say yes and it be sure. But sometimes I can't say no and it be a super sure no.
Yeah, same. It's so easy to say yes.
Yeah. But then it's like, no, it's like, well, sometimes it's like, oh, no, but I'm going to just say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's no, but I'm going to say, I don't know, because let me just make sure. But I'll say yes to something and be like, oh,
and no,
yes.
for a fact. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
definitely easier to say yes than it is to say no.
Yeah.
Saying no, I think, comes with a lot, and you have to be fearful of, you know, whatever is going to be on the other side of that no.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's easier just to agree. But
yeah,
I think as I've gotten older, I've really wanted the friendships that I have, I want them to be honest with me, because I only have room to be honest with them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any more room to be like a people pleaser or a yes man, because I've done that. And I've been there. To just do
what everybody else is doing,
yes.
how it's being done.
Yeah. I've done that. And I literally, with all the things I got going on, I do not have the capacity to be the same person that I once was. I'm still sweet. I still show up. I still do all the things. However, I got to be straight up with you. If I can't make it, the answer is I can't make it.
Yeah.
I have something else that, you know, I have to be at, but I hope you have fun.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to feel bad about, you know,
yeah,
not showing up or not doing certain things.
Yeah.
Just because that's how they expect you to be.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's this post that I've seen before. I think it was like the end of last year, but it was like, I had the most friendships or the most people around me when I was the worst version of myself. And I wanted to retweet that several times. Several times. Because it's like, because I was doing so much. But let me tell you something, Lauren. Very true. So okay. I feel like people can relate to this. I don't know if everybody's college experience is the same as mine. But like, you know, being at a point of like not really having that much money, indulging in things that I should not have been indulging in, doing things, like just all of that other things. I had a ball in college. Let me not, you know,
right.
let me tell y'all that.
Let's not downplay it now.
Though it was a good time. It was a good time. But it was like, I was just doing so much like crazy stuff, or just like being out there in certain ways. Not in the ways y'all probably thinking, but
yeah,
not in those ways. But
don't
just
take it there,
right? Just doing different things and stuff like that. But I swear it was a good time. But that's when I had the most people around me, the most friendships, like the most everything. And it's like, it when you shift and things change, especially when I shifted spiritually, like my relationship with God, it was like so many things changed.
Yeah.
But, and it's no love lost or anything like that.
Absolutely.
But it's just like the
Never
growth that comes with that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That quote is something else.
Girl.
That is something else, and it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like, but when you're growing and trying to become better, that's just like not like seen as much as like who you once were is seen and looked at, you know?
Yeah. But it allows, like, I feel like growing and like bettering myself and becoming more, really what it is becoming more of my true self. And
Yes.
I literally talked about this with my
Yes.
boyfriend the other day. I feel
That's
the most
so good.
like the most true to myself now than I've ever felt before in life.
Same.
And yes, I love that. And it's like
Same.
I am allowing more people that before probably would not have been attracted to me because I wasn't being my most authentic self. But now that I'm, you know, being more aligned with my higher self, being more of who I really am, showing more of who I really am, without all of the different guards up and things like that, I can, you know, build certain friendships and relationships better, which is how other friendships started. Like our friendship started growing more and more.
Yeah.
And I also realized, because it wasn't just our friendship, it was others as well. I'm just being more of myself and being more open with that too, because that was something I struggled with. It was like being super closed off versus now let me let you in, you know, to what's going on and who I am.
Yep. And I've noticed that you've grown so much in that area.
Yes,
You
girl,
really
it's
have. Like we talk about everything.
Yeah.
Whereas there was once a time where we didn't, but I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't think like, oh, she's not sharing enough. No.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is who she is.
Yeah.
But it's like once I saw another side of me, I'm like, no, this is who she is, and I love it.
Like a flower blossoming.
Yes. And you know, you're still learning and growing, and shoot, I am too, and I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
So it's like you never stop getting better.
Yeah.
You never stop getting better. You know, you're always going to be wiser as you get older. And that's why I think it's so much beauty in just getting older, because you get wiser.
Yeah.
You change your perspective on different things. You know, you give people more grace than you used to, or maybe you don't give them grace at all because when you were younger, you gave them too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's healthy for you.
Right.
That's healthy for you. Being able to say, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I
I love that. And like getting wiser thing. I love that about life though. And sometimes like I'm learning to find a balance, because I love being able to grow and evolve and learn more things.
Yeah.
But also, you know, I'm also learning or fixing with the other side of that, of just being more accepting of also who I am. So I'm not so fixated on I have to be better, I have to be better, I have to be better, but not accepting or loving a person, you know, that I am at this season or whatever the case may be. So but I love that. I do love that about life. Just like always growing.
Same.
Yeah.
And there's so much beauty in who we are now. But we do have potential to just like you said, blossom.
Yeah. So I guess this brings me to the end of our show together.
What? I feel like we only talked for 5 minutes.
They probably like, it wasn't 5 minutes, girl.
It was an hour.
So a new segment that I want to implement is like new discoveries, to kind of spin off on a name.
Okay.
So what is something new that you feel like you've discovered about life or yourself that you feel like you would want to share to help other girls, women?
That's really, really good. Let me think on that.
Take your time.
So something I want to share with you all is that you can still be your true, authentic self and have boundaries. Like, you should have boundaries.
Yeah.
With everyone.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are only going to treat you how you allow them to, and they're only going to do what they can get away with.
Yeah.
And so if they know certain things aren't going to fly with you, they treat you differently. And that's what I've seen just with getting older, whether that's in the workplace or whether that's with friendships or whether that's with a random person that you just meet.
Yeah.
Set those boundaries early, and you don't have to like drastically change who you are to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I consider myself a really sweet and like loving person, and just because I set a boundary does not mean I have to be mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can do it in a loving way. I don't have to be like, nah, this is what you're not gonna do. That's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me. It could be me.
Yeah.
But that's not who I am naturally. So just know that you are allowed to be yourself and still set those boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, they can, intertwine with each other.
I love that. And I thought of two things. One, boundaries are to protect yourself, not the other person.
Yes.
So it's really not about them. It's about you and you knowing what you need to do to protect yourself. And then the other thing was, like you just said, like, that's not you to say it that way.
Yeah.
But like a slang for, I think, for younger people, or like some of us would use, it's like, oh, they know not to try that with me. But like the other side of it's like the more mature side is like, you know, I don't really allow this in my space, so you know this wouldn't be appropriate. Like just the boundary side of it. So that's slang for it, but it's another way to like present that.
It's another way to put it.
The mature side of it is you having boundaries and you know, you being firm with the boundaries that you do have. And also I feel like you do something I'm learning is communicating those boundaries to people. So they know. At least so they know. Some things is like, whether I communicate this or not, you're done. Like if it's that term, because there are some things like I'm not communicating. That's just morally just insane.
It's like if you don't know this, something is wrong.
And
like,
you can't come back from this.
You can't. It's like something is genuinely just not right. And I can't have nothing to do with this type of thing. But like you said, it's certain things.
Like you call me at 3 a.m. Let me set a boundary. Like, please don't call me at 3 a.m. Like, you know, unless it's an emergency or whatever the case may be. Like, boundaries like that. Like, those things you can communicate about and go forth with it.
Like, hey, I'm usually asleep at 3 a.m. So, you know, I get up like around 8, 9. I'm free to talk then. Like, that's a boundary. And I feel like that was said with love. And I'm like, girl, are you crazy? Why are you calling me at 3 a.m.? You know I'm asleep. So, you gotta watch your tone of voice. Okay. They gonna be like, all right, I want you in my movie. I hope a director sees this. But I really enjoyed this conversation. Me too. I love Deja, and this was so fun.
This is definitely going to be a 2-parter.
Yes. Come on. It was long.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in again. Make sure you follow Lauren on all her socials. I'll be sure to link them below and share them in our About section. But until next week, bye.
See you guys.